Hello and welcome to the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Our guest today is Rosaline Law. And you know, Rosaline, you've been here several times before over the years. You're a health coach and you're a fitness specialist. I'm going to let everybody know you've taught me some Zumba over the years. But today we are here to talk about meal prep, which is something I've never talked about before. It's something that's become very popular over the years. Why do you think meal prepping has become so popular?
Well, I definitely know that it's become popular just because people just fall off and they just get tired of going out and paying that money for their food, and they just know that it's just better overall emotionally and physically for their body to just get in there and do it themselves.
So do you prep every meal, or do you just prep maybe lunch for work? Do you prep dinner, or should you be doing everything?
So I think it's a personal preference. I think that the most difficult meal is that you have the struggle with or the challenges, that's the one that you should focus on. And so that could be, for some people, most of the time, it may be lunch, just because they're going out spending that money again. They're going out for lunch. So prepping your meals, making it better for your body, physical health, as well as your financial, your pocket. So I would think maybe lunch, then you can actually use lunch and dinner. And a lot of people don't even realize that you can even eat dinner for breakfast. So just switch it up, a variety.
My husband, he is religious about this. He brings his lunch to work every day. Because when you go out every day for lunch, not only is it expensive, you don't know
that part.
What you're eating, or you don't know how much salt or how much sugar, how much meat. You can control exactly what you put in if you meal prep.
Yeah, if you prepare your own meals at home, period. I'm a strong believer of whole foods, using your whole foods, your potatoes, your tomatoes, your green leafy vegetables. You can add all of that. So it's definitely true what you're saying, because when you go to the restaurants, you don't know how much sodium. And if you're struggling with diabetes or hypertension, you need to know those ingredients and how much is in that particular dish, so that you can stay on top of your health and wellness goals. For sure.
And you can portion control.
Definitely control those portions. Definitely. And that comes along with the weight loss part, the weight management part, that we should definitely be focusing on, especially as we age, get older. We want to just make sure that our organs and everything, as much as possible. So prepping your meals is very important. That's why I believe it's so popular right now.
And if you're dieting as well, it's important to know, hey, I'm eating this much of this much of that, and this much of the other thing. And it's planned rather than, oh, we're all going out for pizza at work.
And so, I have a sort of different perspective on that part, because I believe in bio-individuality. And that means that each person is different. So while one person can go out for a pizza, as long as the pizza has the ingredients in it or on it that's sustainable for your body. Rather than, so it could be an all-meat pizza. Some people have to have chicken or some protein for their body, but the bottom line is you have to know your own body and what it needs to, so it can fuel. You can fuel your own body for energy and the sugar, the sodium, the different things, the proteins and nutrients that it needs for your body. But the bottom line is you have to know your body and what it needs. Recognize and focus on that.
Is there some testing involved with that, or how do you know what type of body I have, what type of body you have? How do you know that?
Well, when you go to the doctor, they do labs, and they can tell your cholesterol levels, your A1C levels for your sugar, and so on. And they take the blood pressures and things like that. So I believe in getting those results first. And then there's several different tests that you can take holistically, and hook up to different machines will tell you what foods that you should be eating, and that's comparable to your body's needs.
So if you're meal prepping, what should your meal contain? What's the healthiest things that you can put in your meals? Let's start off with breakfast.
Yeah, okay, so with breakfast, if you are eating meats or proteins, you can do your breakfast sausages, your, I say, lean turkey, cured, if you're eating pork, that cured bacon, things of that. If you are doing meat, protein. Now, eggs, protein, yes. Organic eggs. I use organic eggs. Sometimes people can't afford, eggs.
Let's not talk about I told my son the other day, just 2. You're not doing 6 eggs today, 2.
2. See, yeah. So I mean, you just have to, and then you don't have to. Let me tell you, for breakfast, what I think is perfect is the muffins. So you put them, you pre and you bake them. You make the little omelets in the muffin tins, and you can put them in the freezer, and you can get a 6 pan or a 12 pan. Make them up, put them in the oven, bake them, put them in the freezer. That's part of meal prepping. Then you just pull them out of the freezer, pop them in the oven in the morning, or set them out night before. They're perfect for that. Then also your oatmeal, your oats, or your cream of wheat, overnight oats, things of that nature. You can just get up in the morning and just nuke them, put them in a pot, warm them up, and that's meal prepping, all about meal prepping.
Is it time consuming, meaning is this something you can just do on a Sunday afternoon and freeze that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
So when you're prepping during the week, or is it something you need to do every day? How does that work?
So I typically say take one day, Saturday or Sunday, and get it done. The more you do it, the quicker it is. People say, I don't have time, but I find it therapeutic. I line up all of my food. And first you have to shop. You have to shop. You have to go get your food. And if you spend that money and energy and time to go in and get your food, then you feel better when you lay it out and then you're preparing it. And you feel better when you're eating it. So I say take a Sunday, Saturday or Sunday, lay out everything, and then just go to work. And like I said, it can take maybe an hour or 2 hours to really get it done. Just depends on what you're trying to accomplish for the week.
If you're meal prepping for lunch, what should that look like?
So for lunch, let's just say most people do salads.
Okay.
So let's just say salads. So I have here the salad in the jar.
And it looks good.
Yeah, and so you have your salad in a jar, your mason jars, and they don't have to be this big. You can do half. But this is a 32-ounce jar.
I never thought of putting the salad in a jar.
In a jar.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing about this, the great part is that these can last for a whole week, up to 8 days in the refrigerator.
Really? Because me and lettuce have a hard time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm buying lettuce every other day because it goes bad so easily.
In a jar. But this is the thing. This is a tip. Get the wide mouth jars. Now, whatever you have is fine, but the wide mouth jars are easier because people just don't like little bit of challenge make you say, you know what, I'm not doing that. But you get the wide mouth jars. You put you put your salad dressing at the bottom. So you can go to like about.
So that's salad okay.
So no, this one actually is my chili.
Oh.
This is my chili.
But I would think that the having liquid at the bottom would cause the other.
So this is the part. What you're going to do is put your salad dressing. It could be balsamic vinaigrette, whatever salad dressing you want. And when you're counting calories, you put as much as you need down at the bottom. Then I put my onions or beans or whatever in the bottom, cucumbers and everything, because then they're marinating in the salad dressing, right? So whatever, you can layer it. carrots, mushrooms, beans, cucumbers, zucchini, whatever you want. Then you stuff the top with your lettuce. You put your lettuce at the top. You just stuff it to the top. And then when you're about to eat it, you have your plate, you turn it over. The lettuce is at the bottom. And then everything stacks up.
Who
on
knew?
top.
I never knew, because I would have just assumed that this was going to make everything else soggy.
No. The salad dressing actually makes all the other vegetables taste amazing.
And you said this can last for several days.
For several days, yeah. So what I do is I'll make at least 7 or 8. I normally make about 8 because somebody else in my house is going to take one. and then you can just grab one on the way out the door. Put it in your lunch bag, grab one on the way out the door. Have your plate, your fork, and everything in your bag, and then that's your lunch.
Okay.
That can be your lunch. Now, I put the chili in the bottom of this one because I make the chili, talking about meal prepping, you can make a vegetarian chili or regular chili, and that can spread over the week with your meal prepping. So you can make that chili, just a bowl of chili with chips, right? For lunch or for dinner. You can make that chili and have some brown rice and some broccoli or asparagus, meal, dinner or lunch. You can have that same chili, put it in a pot with some kale and some vegetable broth and make you a chili and bean soup.
I'm coming over.
Make you a chili and bean soup. So that means you have your salad in a jar with your chili, you have your chili and chips, you have your chili and bean soup. That chili is lasting. So you have prepped that on that Sunday, all of that, and it's lasting throughout the week based on that one chili dish. And you can make your chili in a crock pot.
I do it all the
everything in
time.
there.
I do it all.
And
I
you just
did it
take a
all my
little-
kids' life.
There you go.
Chili in a crock pot.
And you can use that same crock pot of chili throughout the week for different things. A chili bowl. Put that brown rice at the bottom, some chili, some guacamole, maybe some sour cream, and you have a bowl.
Now, you brought some dishes with you,
Yes.
some Tupperware? Or do we call it Tupperware anymore? But anyway, you got some bowls. So what bowls are what?
So these, I love these.
Okay.
These actually are containers, and they seal your food nicely. It stays fresh.
Okay.
For weeks, actually, at least about 2 weeks.
Okay.
So you can actually,
For 2 weeks?
For 2 weeks, I'm telling you. Well, let me just say this. It depends on how much you're in and out of your refrigerator.
Okay.
But these can last. I have put, you're talking about your lettuce.
Yes.
I have opened my lettuce and put it in here. They seal it. You can get them from all of the stores, nice, fresh sealed, and they come in different sizes. You can put your fruit. I'll put berries,
And fruit
blueberries.
stays too?
Fruit stays.
That's a big problem where you have to buy vegetables over and over because they go bad. I didn't know that there was something like this that you could use that would just give it a little more time.
Well, let me just say this. What sold me, one of the things that sold me on these containers are avocado.
And I love, but it's hard to keep.
You cut your avocado, put it in here with no lemon juice, seal it, it will not turn brown for at least 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
That's what sold me. The seal on it, the airtight seal. Though these are very nice. So I just put all of my food in these, stack them up in the refrigerator, and
Well, what about
let it
some
go.
ideas for dinner?
So for dinner, you can do your chicken. We're talking about fish or chicken. You can make those up. Just make them, bake them, or grill, or now it's air fried.
I live by the air fryer. I'm a big air fryer.
Yeah, and then you just put enough in there that you're going to eat throughout the week. I put them in these containers with my vegetables, the chicken, the potatoes or rice. I normally do rice. And then you just take them out and put them as you go throughout the week.
So your dinner should include a vegetable, a starch, and a meat?
Well, yeah, for the most part.
Because a lot of us, you hear all these how bad carbs are, how bad this is, how bad fat is, how bad, and so we'll demonize things like rice, things like potatoes. So is it okay to have that as part of?
So when we get into that, we're talking about processed rather than whole foods. So a rice, it should be a brown rice that will take a little bit longer to cook, but you don't have to do anything. You just put it on the stove and let it cook, right? But brown rice. A lot of people feel that meal prepping, you have to use the instant. But when you're thinking about your body and what it needs and healthy, whole foods, so your whole potatoes and not the just add meat or just add water type of processed foods. So you want to do more whole foods. So that would be your vegetables, your green leafy vegetables. And you just take the time out to just make them on one day, and then you just put them in your containers and eat on them during the week. But the carbs, that processed part, that's what you should stay away from, is that. Your beans, your rice, which is whole grains, beans, rice, your protein, your fruits, and mostly your green leafy vegetables.
Now, you have given some creative suggestions as to what you can do. What about folks who are not quite as creative? How do you stop from being bored with what you're prepping? Making sure you come up with new ideas, not just for you, but for your family, so you're not eating the same thing and you get to that stage of boredom.
Well, so people get bored.
Yeah.
People get bored. So, I mean, I think my thing is, I say you eat to live. So, therefore, you find what you like, and you have to, right now people are going on social media. You can look up recipes, different recipes. I have recipe books. Just find what you like. I think more so than being bored, people just don't want to do the work.
Yes.
And because if you want to do the work, then you find what you like to eat, and your family likes to eat, and you just get in there and do it. Just get it done. But a variety helps. A variety does help when you don't want to be bored about what you're eating.
What about drinking? Can you prep stuff to drink? Well, maybe if you like to have a shake or whatever for breakfast opposed to the oatmeal or the eggs. Is there a way to do that to preserve it?
Well, I tell most of my clients to make your smoothies or your protein shakes. You can, especially in the summertime, when it gets warm, you can make them up, put them in a freezer, put them in a cup, put them in the freezer. And then when you grab it, going out on the way to work, by the time you leave out and get to work on the way is perfect, especially in the summertime when it's hot. You can make your juices. Some people are juicing.
Yes.
Right? So you can make your big pitcher of juices and then put them in the juice bottles. They make these 6 and 8 pack disposable and glass juice bottles that you can fill up and arrange them in your refrigerator and grab one as you grab your salad. And then you can just go to work. You can make your smoothies like that. Put them in the nice sealed containers and just grab one as you go. That's meal prepping. That's ultimate meal prepping. When you're doing your salads, your juices, and your meal, and you're saving a lot of money.
Now, how do you know how much to put in? How do you know? Because as Americans, we overeat.
Yeah.
How do you know? You don't need the whole bowl
No.
of chili. So how do you kind of be careful when it comes to the portion control?
Yeah. So there's a rule of thumb. And again, that's bio individuality. But I always say your carbs, about 4 ounces of carbs. Your meat, they tell you the size of your palm. That's your chicken or your fish, the size of your palm. Your beans could be about 4 ounces. A lot of people frown at beans also.
I love beans, but it's just figuring out different ways to make them for me. Is figuring out what I like and what, but I love beans. But I have a child, for example, hadn't even tasted all the, but just decided that he hates beans. You know what I mean? So people don't eat enough
those
beans.
Yeah.
So
that's where
good
your
for
protein
you.
and energy can come from, especially if you're pescatarian or vegetarian or vegan. Got to eat those beans for that protein.
So what is, if you don't mind my asking, what is your diet?
So, funny you should ask. I am a vegetarian, but I am a pescatarian also.
And can you tell our our viewers what that
all
means?
All right. So, I mostly eat vegetables, beans, whole grains, all vegetables and fruits. The pescatarian are people that eat seafood, but for me, myself, I am allergic to fish, like the salmon and except for tuna. I can eat tuna, steaks, fresh tuna. So I can eat that. I can also eat the worst, the scavengers, the crab, shrimp, and lobster. I can eat that. I'm not allergic to shellfish, but I'm allergic to the other fish. So I don't have all of those often. So I may have a tuna steak maybe twice a week. Mostly I'll eat the beans and the vegetables and the rice, potatoes. That's my diet most of the time.
Now, when did your fitness journey begin?
So my fitness journey actually began with exercising when I was about 18.
Okay.
I got on everybody's nerves. Trying to get everybody from the church, from the neighborhood, from my family, everybody. Let's go, let's exercise, let's run, let's walk, let's do it. And then I went into the health field. So I am a respiratory therapist and went into the hospital. And then years after doing that, I got a little bit depressed about just seeing people coming in the hospital sick. And so I wanted to go to the other side and help people be proactive, teach people how to just be focused on their body so that they won't get there. And so 13 years ago, it'll be 14 years actually next month, March, that I became a health coach and specializing in nutrition, fitness, and I'm also an herbalist as well.
Now, what is the biggest problem that people come to you for, or what do you hear most when people are talking about, I want to stay healthy, but?
Well, I think the most is I just don't know what to eat. You know, I used to eat this and it didn't bother me, but now it does, and I just don't know how to prepare my foods. I don't know. I don't really like to cook, but I know that I need to now because my numbers, I went to the doctor and they're saying that I'm pre-diabetic or hypertension. I don't want to take medicine. So that's what people come to me in I need your help type of move.
How do you think it's benefited you? The meal prepping and being careful about what you eat with each meal and things like that. How do you think it's benefited your life?
Well, I tell you, when I became a health coach, went to school for being a health coach, they actually gave me a health coach so that I can learn. And that health coach actually shined the light on some of my issues that I had. I had issues with sinuses really bad. I had issues with migraine headaches really bad. And I found out that I needed to cut back or change my sugars. So I went to plant-based sugars only, which helped my migraines. Didn't have migraines anymore. I stopped eating the processed foods. I lost a lot of weight. I was When 13 years ago, I was wearing a size 12. Then along this journey of increasing my exercise and proper nutrition, eating the whole foods, cutting back the sugars, processed foods, fast foods, I went down to a size 2.
That's an impressive story.
Yeah, within 2 years of being a health coach. Then, of course, during the pandemic, everybody got those pandemic pounds, but I still had the same diet. It's just that I increased more with the rice and the potatoes, you know.
I think all of us really, because I remember in 2021 with the COVID, I never got COVID during that time, but I noticed we all had to change our lives, and sometimes that resulted in weight gain.
Yes.
Or additional things going wrong with your health.
Yes, yes, yes.
So where are you now?
So where am I now? So now I am still seeing clients, and I see most of my clients virtually. I am doing dance fitness.
Yes.
And I do that in person as well as virtually on Zoom. And I do community events.
Because you did my Sisters for Fitness 5K run walk last year. Now, in our last minute, what would be your best advice for people if they're considering meal prep, but I don't want to take the time to do that, I don't know what to prepare? What would you say to them?
I would say just start. Go write your list, sit down, write your list. Do not go to the store trying to figure it out while you're in the store. Sit down, think about what you really like, then you write it down, write out your grocery list, you go and buy. Don't buy too much. Start off small, start off a little bit, and just prep what you think you can. You might want to do your breakfast, and then you can graduate to more as you learn about yourself and what you can do for yourself and for your family. And just start off small, and then graduate. Gradually take it to another level. And then that way you'll be successful. No one wants to fail at anything or feel like a failure. Yeah. And so when you feel like you failed, then you say, oh, forget it. You know, and I never
So that's why that starting gradually.
Start gradually.
Is the way to start. I thank you so much for joining. I'm glad I got you in studio today. Yes. We've been talking to health, wellness, and fitness coach. Yes. Rosaline Law, and we've been talking about meal prep. I hope you're having this for lunch.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been watching the Sisters for Fitness Wellness Show. I'm Stephanie Gaines-Bryant. Enjoy the rest of your day.